I found this little guy at a flea market. I think it was the same flea market that I found the snap-on ratchet wrench. So what we have here is a number 59 Miller's Falls. And what it is, it's a ratchet, right? So, and then if you twist this, ratchets the other way. Somewhere along its life, someone had to hang it, I guess, on a nail, and they drilled a hole through the handle. Looks like it broke out here, and let me show you. The hole is not super straight through. That's unfortunate. There's a pin right here. I don't know if I pry that, it doesn't go all the way through, see? I don't know if I pry that pin out, that maybe I can get the mechanism off the handle. I may give it a whirl. It wouldn't be the end of the world if I couldn't get it apart. I can clean it up just the way it is altogether. Let's see if I can pry that pin up. Looks like I'm making progress. I'll keep prying on it for a little while and see if I can get it all the way out. Yep. Something happened there. Oh, there you go. Well, it's out. Hey, it's definitely separating. Alright, so all my pulling looks like it's working. It definitely looked like it's going to come apart. I was going to maybe pry onto here, but it looks like it's a real thin edge right there, and I'm afraid if I pry right here, I'll just break this edge of this wood. So I'm going to put it back in the vise and, you know, just pull some more. It's coming. All right. Need a break. How much more is in there, you figure? I don't know if I see the pinhole yet. Let's do one more. Oh wow, I think I got it. I think I got it. Woo! Got it. The wood handle has a washer, a metal washer in the top there. See it? Thinking I can probably leave that. The mechanism has the pinhole all the way through. I think the next step is to see how far I can get this apart. So when I turn it, this tab seems to stop right there. When I turn it this way, the tab seems to stop there. I think this is going to pull off. Now I don't know what's going to come flying out right now. Alright, that's off. Looks like these two both face the same way, and there's a spring clip that holds them in, so they come out pretty easy. Alright, I don't know how much further we can go. There looks to be a pin here. I think there's some kind of clip right in there, and then we can have this all the way apart. So I think this is just sort of like a fork that's sitting in there. Yep, a little, what do you call that? Like a Woodruff key. So does that mean now the screwdriver part's going to come out? Maybe, maybe not. Yep. Alright, there's the screwdriver part out. Got a feeling they're pressed together. And I think they're just going to stay that way. That might be as far as I need to go on that. This here has a pin. So we're debating if I have to undo that pin or if I can just clean everything the way it is now. I gave that pin a couple exploratory whacks. Didn't seem to want to move. The more I look at this, the more I'm convinced I can do a pretty good job getting this cleaned up just like it is. I'll leave this together. Here's the parts after the wire wheel. I think I'm losing some of the chrome or nickel, whatever plating it is. The good thing is it's not really chipping off, it's just sort of wearing off as I work on it. I should be able to polish it up and make it look nice. The knurling came out nice, didn't it? I was able to reach inside this piece. I'm glad I didn't take that pin out. I think I got it pretty good. Now this one here, I think I'm going to do some work to the tip of the screwdriver. It's a little mangled up, see it? And I noticed while cleaning it that there's some chips right here. You see those? There, see them? There's some chips there. I don't know if that was just factory marks or if that was some kind of wear, something happened to this screwdriver along the way. I'm just going to take a file and make them smooth. I'm not catching my fingernail on this ridge, but they're definitely over here. I don't know how that affects the way this thing works, but I'll just clean them up with a file a little bit. Here's the tip after sanding with 150 grit. Instead of going through the grits like I normally do, I'm going to see what I can do just taking it to the fiber wheel. I think the fiber wheel did a really respectable job on this. It looks good. All right, on to the wood handle. I like to start with scraping the old finish off with a pocket knife, just so this old varnish doesn't clog up the sandpaper. I was able to scrape off a lot of the old finish. Scraping it like that really saves on sandpaper. Now the back here, the butt section, is pretty bad. It looks like maybe someone was beating on it. I think I'm going to take that to the belt sander first before doing hand sanding. Now this red stain is going to make a mess of the sandpaper. So when I'm at yard sales, I always pick up any sandpaper I see, and this was some sandpaper I got at a yard sale somewhere. I save this kind of stuff when I have a messy job like this to do. As usual, this red color is a bear to sand out. Seems like anywhere there's end grain, the red really soaks in. I think I'm gonna try some paint remover. It's been a while since I've used this stuff. I find this stuff works better if you let it soak overnight. I'll put the handle in a bag, add some, and kind of let it do its thing overnight. Well, I guess this stripper did something. There's a lot of pink in there. I'm going to take it out of the bag and scrub it underwater. See what I got. So the stripper seemed to take off some of the red. I'm going to give this this stuff another try. I mixed it 6-to-1 with hot water. This time I'm going to give it a good coat. I'm going to leave it on overnight. Let's see what I get. I applied the acid, let it dry, then I applied a second coat of the acid and let it dry. Now what I have here is water mixed with baking soda. I don't know if it's going to neutralize the dried acid or not, but let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that fizzed. I'm definitely getting a reaction. I'll scrub this real good. I'll probably rinse it in just plain water, then I'll let it dry again. Before I continue sanding, I want to address these holes. If I plug the holes with a dowel stick, I'm going to end up with end grain, which is going to leave a dark spot where the hole was when I finished the wood. If I use a putty like Quickwood, it's going to leave a light spot over the hole when I finish the wood. I want to try something different. I'm going to take this Forstner bit, which is the next size bigger than the hole, and drill a counterbore, something like this counterbore here. Then I'm going to make these plugs out of poplar. Now notice what I did. Instead of a dowel stick with the grain running this way, this plug was made with the grain running that way. So when you put this plug into a piece of wood and you orient the grain properly, now all the grain runs the same way. It should finish better if I do it that way. Now I'm using poplar for this. I don't know what wood that handle's made out of, but this looked like it would match okay. I should be able to just pop these apart. Yep. Now they make a special plug drill bit. You can just drill these out of wood. I don't have that drill bit, but I have a Dremel and I'm not afraid to use it. I gave the plugs a little bit of an angle like a cork. See that? That way they definitely tighten up in the hole. Let's see what I mean now? Now the grain is all running consistent. I'm hoping the poplar plug blends in good with whatever wood this is. Here's the other side. Alright. Hopefully that'll blend in good. Alright, I'm going to glue them up. I'm not really a fan of battery powered tools, but this this Dremel I found in the free pile, the sort of power and the speed really match these sanding drums really well. The glue's all dry. Now I just got to do some sanding. Here's the handle sanded down to 320 grit. If I close my eyes, I can't feel where those plugs are. It'd be interesting to see how they turn out when I put the finish on. I'm going to put some grease in on these parts as I put them back together. Maybe I'll put a little in here too. In here. Alright. Slides in there. Seems to run pretty good. Now that little half moon key thing goes in. I think right there. And that locks it so it can't come out. I slid the outer shell on, and I think I slid it on in the right position. If I put that little marker there to where the R is, it turns right, ratchets left, turns right, ratchets left. If I move that mark to the L, then it turns left, ratchets right, turns left, ratchets right, turns left, ratchet right. So I think it's, and let me see, if I put it in the middle, that should be like lock both ways. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that would be like lock both ways. Well, it looks like I have it right. I did notice that even though this hole goes all the way through, the pin only drops in easy from one direction. In this direction it does not drop in easy. So I think I want to go through the wood and into this hole and then have it lock. I think that's what I want to do. Let me take you back to what this Miller's Falls number 59 ratchet screwdriver looked like when I brought it home from the flea market. So what do you think? That's that Bombay mahogany I like to use on the handle. I think this is the flute that had the piece chipped out of it. So in there is one of the plugs. From this distance, those plugs are pretty camouflaged. I think that turned out good. I had a little bit of trouble getting the handle back on. The hole in the wooden handle seems to have shrunk a little bit, maybe from me getting the wood wet. I found a drill bit that fits it tight. I'm not going to put it in the drill. I'm just going to kind of slowly drill by hand, just to kind of open the hole up a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely moving some wood. I think that's going to work. Alright, here we go. It looks like I have the hole lined up pretty good. Let's try the pin. I don't want to force it. There it goes. Alright. Pin got started. Alright, the pin started. It looks like there's a little play in this sleeve. Almost like there needs to be a shim down there to take that up. Or however thick that is. Less than a 1/16. What I came up with for the shim is a piece of wire that fits right on top. Let's give that a test try. I think that wire shim did the trick. Now this is, the collar's tight, right? And it turns real nice. Yeah, that works nice. And it's nice and tight. And it looks good too. Good. I knocked the pin the rest of the way home, and Chuck and I polished the metal with flits. This is Chuck's favorite part of every project. Let's see how this thing works. I'm going to set it to R. Works really smooth. Okay. Now I'm going to move it to L. Alright, works good. Let's try it on the center where it says O there. That should be locked. Yeah, see, now it works like a regular screwdriver. No ratchet action. So if I want to loosen it, I can loosen it. I really like it. Miller's Falls introduced the number 59 ratchet screwdriver in 1925. It originally had a more rounded, pear-shaped handle. By 1935, the number 59 had the fluted design like mine. This was a fun project. I'm glad the plugs for the holes in the handle worked out. I'm also glad I was able to solve the problem I had when reinstalling the handle. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I found this interesting video of a 1943 Miller's Falls plant. The manufacturing footage starts at about 7.5 minutes. I'll put a link to the video in the description.